Welcome to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Kop TV with AGT. I'm not gonna lie, it's difficult now to keep up the kind of energy and the positive vibes and all that kind of stuff. I'm watching Klopp speak to Jeff Shreves now, and he just looks like he's a broken man. Liverpool have again crashed to another defeat, this time away at Leicester. 3-1. If you are watching this stream now and you are with us, let us know in the comments. Is this a crisis time for Liverpool? Are we in crisis? As 7 minutes send us to hell. Welford TV and Darren Whelan are with me. Welford, what's your headline?
I don't even know. It's just Liverpool falling off a cliff. I don't know. It's not good to see.
I mean, there was talks about, is this a crisis? Is it not? Darren, what do you reckon? Is this a crisis? But what's your headline?
Well, I suppose the headline would be just what I said to you off air there, Alex. Liverpool have bite but can't chew foxes. Because obviously we had some bite and sap in us today, but we could nowhere near be clinical enough to chew them up, and it'd be air day. I thought, honestly, when that goal went 1-0 up, it was going to be a Valentine's massacre at the King Power. But how am I? I was wrong. It's not the first time or the last time I'll be wrong about things. Yeah, it is a bit of a crisis, isn't it? Not going to lie. When you're 1-0 up, just over 10 minutes to go in a game, and you lose 3-1, a game where you were pretty comfortable and a lot of possession, and okay, not a lot of chances and not a lot clear cut particularly, but we've done enough. We were well on top of that game to come away with 3 points. And I would have been disappointed with a draw, but I'm obviously fuming with coming away with nothing. So yeah, crisis, of course, absolutely.
Yeah, that's not even, being thought of now as maybe it isn't a crisis. We know we're in a crisis now. This is a consistent run of form that we've been showing really since the new year. Right, let's get into the lineup reaction. I mean, huge disappointment for me personally to see Henderson at centre back again. Kabak obviously made his debut. We'll get into his performance later, but Allison was there. Were there any huge reactions to the lineup? I mean, there was no Thiago starting. Milner started, got injured. I mean, honestly, boys, it's hard to be positive about one single aspect of what is going on right now. Every time we seem to maybe get a couple players back from injury, they get injured again. It's got to the point now where I'm kind of just laughing at what I'm seeing. Darren, what was your lineup reaction?
Surprised that Henderson wasn't in midfield. I understand why he wasn't, because Fabinho's being ruled out. It looks like he's going to be out for the next 2 or 3 games, unfortunately. And I suppose not Thiago.
And Davis also injured.
Yeah, Davis injured, Origi injured before the game. I heard that news. And then Milner starting ahead of Thiago was a little bit raised an eyebrow. And the reason being is because I think Milner's the type of player you bring on in a game that you need him. He started a lot of games for us of late. Hasn't really done a lot in them, although Thiago hasn't done a lot either. But I thought this was the game where we would have went with Thiago midfield just for that bit more energy and creativity. But it didn't happen. He come on, and he'd a little bit rash at the start. Gave away a poor ball and a poor tackle, and then obviously the poor tackle to give away the equaliser that Maddison capitalised on. But I was surprised. Yeah, I think Nat Phillips is worth the start. It's not the first time I've brought it up on this stream that he's played well enough regularly. He's looked composed and physical enough, and I think you have to be composed and physical going away to a good Leicester side that have a deadly trio. And he again left out. We go with a new lad, Kabak, a centre back, with Henderson there. I understand why Henderson's there, but we need Henderson in midfield. It's where he's influential. It's where he, as I always say, makes us tick. It's where he pulls the strings, and it's where we need that energy and that creativity that he brings us. But again, another day to see him a centre back, and the outcome was inevitable. Then I suppose when you look at leaving Henderson out midfield, it's very hard to win games.
Yeah, no Henderson midfield, centre back again. Welford. Let's get into the first half. I mean, Liverpool totally controlled it, really. Vardy had that huge chance where he hits the crossbar, but really we controlled it. Salah so wasteful. I've never seen him that wasteful in terms of heavy touches, not getting onto the end of passes, passes that have got too much on them. I mean, Salah in the first half was so wasteful, boys. There's a shout to say that we should have maybe got that free kick right at the end of the first half, at least over the wall on target. But then as the second half starts, it takes us into 66 minutes where we see an incredible piece of skill from Firmino to set up Salah. And it's 1-0. But then Mr. Doyle is now with us. First appearance back on the Kop TV for a while. Much love to you, brother. Great to have you back on. Unfortunately, nothing's changed though, G. We're still shite.
Yeah,
and that was disgraceful. It was just season ending, bro. 7 minutes in hell.
For the last 7 minutes, lad.
Open. I've never seen us so open. Doyle, talk to us about. We were just getting onto the fact that we went 1-0 up, obviously, and then there's 7 minutes there that just make us look so open and make us look like a Sunday League team. Are you with us, Doyle?
Oh.
Hello.
So my whole thing didn't hear the words you just said then, lad.
Okay, having some difficulties there. Darren, are you with us? Darren's with us.
Yeah.
Darren's with us. We'll try and bring Doyle back.
Can you hear me?
There he is. And Welford's there as well. Yeah, so Doyle, 3-1 defeat, mate. Your thoughts?
Just crap, lad. We played like a Sunday League team for the last 10 minutes. I don't think we played particularly bad throughout the game. We were in charge. It's just stupid, rash decisions. Thiago's doing me head in, lad. I'm not messing. He's a great player, lad, but he just keeps fouling in the wrong places.
Yeah.
He's enthusiastic, but he's making stupid, rash decisions. That first goal came from him just making a tackle he didn't really need to do, lads. You know what I mean? It's coming from stupid stuff. Allison, I don't know what him and I feel like today in this game, I don't know if you noticed it, right? Kabak was trying to talk to Allison a few times in this game, lad. And Allison was just overriding him. He was just going, no, I'll do what I want, lad. No, I'll do what I want, lad. So you seen Kabak a few times saying, don't just throw the ball, lad. Give it to this person or do it to that person. And he was just like, nah, I'll do what I want. And I feel like that was the case when it comes to the stupid thing that he did, lads. I feel like he just went, nah, I'm going to take control of this because Kabak's new. He doesn't know what he's doing. When really, he should have let Kabak do it and then just got cleared up whatever happened after that, lad, instead of just trying to... I don't know what he did, lads. He had a little flash in the pan there where he just didn't know what he was doing, lad. And crap, lad. Proper depressingly crap.
Yeah, proper awful today. Like, shocking. I mean, we've got Everton at home next week. Normally there is something to maybe be positive about. Today, that was the goal. An unbelievable piece of skill from Firmino. But, let's talk about the 2-1, right? So I'm watching it now. The ball is over the top. Kabak doesn't even see Allison come out. Allison obviously can see Kabak. I think it's totally Allison's fault.
If I see anyone on social media later saying that's Kabak's fault,
he's following the ball, he's doing his job. That's it. It's a
Yeah,
very routine situation there, lad.
There has to be a shout from Allison.
But Allison should not be coming out for that. He should not be coming out for that.
Storm out of his box like that, lad.
He should not be coming out for that.
He can come to the edge of his box, lad, to clear up whatever mess is there. But he can't just run into Kabak and expect him to just... How is he supposed to see him, lad? He's in a full stride. He's sprinting towards the ball, lad.
He shouldn't be coming out that far out,
lad.
The third goal, I'm not being funny, but Kabak looks so slow.
Yeah.
Did you see this? Oh, fucking hell.
There's nothing to say, lad. None of us know what to do or what to change. Neither does Klopp, lad. Klopp is looking at that team like, what is going on? Mo Salah looks like the only player that can play football in that team.
I know, yeah. Doesn't even put a pass together and actually have a shot.
Allison should have really went through Kabak for that ball when it came out.
Happening. Do you know what I feel like? We're missing Henderson that much in the midfield because when he's actually higher in the pitch, you see how much he gets about all over the pitch. He's crossing in on the left, he's crossing in on the right, he's in the middle. We just haven't got that. We've got players that work, but just not like Henderson, lad. I can't explain it. We are dreadful right now, and it's depressing, lad. Oh my days.
Talk to me about the chances that I mean, Olski here says they've scored 3 goals in 6 minutes and 37 seconds.
Yeah.
I
We just should
mean,
have took our chances, lad. We didn't take our chances when we had them. They had chances as well all throughout the game, so it was one of them where it was a tight game. We had the majority of the ball, and then we took the lead like it was supposed to happen, lad. That's what the game was going like we were going to take the lead with a bit of brilliance, and then we imploded. That was it. We literally gave them 3 goals, lad. We imploded. This dreadful. No matter what you say, that first goal, offside, onside, whatever, not even bothered me, lads. We just still crap, lads.
I mean, yeah, we could end up 9th
That
By
is
the end of the
everyone
weekend,
around
if
us
wins.
that
wins.
is a joke. That is like that is
9th, lads.
not good enough
We're
at all.
embarrassing, lads.
How can you win the league by 20 points and then you can lose? You
I
can
can't
concede
hear
3
Wilfred, you
goals.
know.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, that is actually shocking to think you win the league by 20 points last year. And okay, fair enough, injuries and all that. But that team that was out, as I said last week, that is a good team. That team should be able to go to Leicester and beat them. And Leicester, they weren't even that good today. I just can't believe you've just let stupid mistakes. That first goal, I don't understand that as well with this line and stuff. That just, yeah,
For me, that's offside. For me, that's
yeah,
offside.
I don't get it though. Why is there a
I
blue
don't
line? What's
understand
the blue line on it?
because
I
you
don't
can
get.
see his hand is
Yeah, I
past
don't get it. I
everything.
know. That's what I mean. And he clear goes to make a movement towards the ball, but it's VAR, isn't it? I'm surprised he gave the free kick as well. It was just, yeah. It's if we end up going 9th at the end of this weekend, I am officially done with this. Like the league, like
Well,
I don't want to play it.
people
no
are
point.
saying on Twitter, lads. Klopp said, "For me, it looks like a clear offside. He has to touch the ball. That is when it was offside. Yes or no." It was a tough one to take. VAR was a turning point in the game. I've seen it a couple of times. In the moment where they stopped the situation, he didn't even touch the ball yet. The third goal, we lost the ball too easy, too open. I told the boys already that's not okay. I mean, they were so open for the third goal.
We have to go for it.
Harvey Barnes would just completely walk through. I mean, what did you make of Kabak's debut? We'll start with Darren and go Welford and Doyle. Darren, what Kabak like for you today?
Well, obviously, up until we were 1-0 up, I thought he was composed. He'd done everything that was asked of him. I don't think he was too bad. Look, it's really difficult to come into a side when you're on the receiving end of 49 goals in a different league and come to what's renowned as the best league in the world and make a debut away to a side that is ahead of you in the league. Do you know what I mean? There's big expectations. He's only 20 years of age, as I said. It was tough, and it was just a bad day for him at the office in the end, wasn't it? But I still think Allison should have went through him to win that ball back. Before when he conceded the goal, you can't really blame Kabak, as Welford was saying. I agree with him. Like, a keeper's meant to come out and take his own player out with it too, if that's what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Give him the shout and go for it. But there's obviously been a bad misunderstanding. The communication between them was awful, and it's made him look like egg on his face at the end of it. You know what I mean? But up until obviously we got that goal till Leicester got the equaliser with 10 minutes to go, I think he was okay, but we'll just wait and see how it goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, difficult to come into a team where he is playing against someone who he isn't ever probably going to play centre-back with again in Henderson. Kabak, only 20, like Darren said there. Welford, what did you make of his performance today?
Yeah, fine. The lad's good things with him. That he's a hothead, which you always like to see, to get stuck in the tackles and that. I feel like for me, for the full game, I just feel like for me, since the equaliser, he was fine. He made a very good tackle on Barnes and got booked for it, which was ridiculous. But he did well to stay and stay on the pitch with getting booked. But yeah, and the goal, if I see people blaming him for that goal, honest to God, like, you need to get a grip. I don't know how you can physically blame him. Doyle said, like, he's running, he can see the ball coming over his head and he's running. He should not have to go, oh, let me look at my keeper, let's look who's around me, let's look at the ball. He doesn't need to do that. He just needs to have two things in his mind, the ball and who's around me, that's all. And for me, your keeper should never be coming out that far in any situation unless it's, like, obviously being pumped back and there's no one around you, but your keeper should never be coming up that far. And Allison, again, that illness, I don't know what it's done to him, but for me, Kabak was fine. And the third goal, it was Liverpool had to go for it. They had to get at least an equaliser, and that's obviously that was a lot of gaps. Trent was a lot high. The midfield weren't really there because everyone was in the final third trying to get an equaliser. And to be fair, it was over when it was 2-1, and I can't blame him for being slow, I think. But yeah, I like the look of him.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he looked okay. For me, though, Doyle, that third goal, he just looked slow to get back to it.
I can't hear that, me.
Are you with us again, Doyle?
Can't hear nothing.
Is he there?
Can you hear me, Doyle?
Headphones might not be connected.
Hello.
It's all going great, isn't it?
Well, I mean, this is just summing it all up, really. Liverpool, awful today. Doyle's just going to see if he can come out and go back in again. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about Ozan Kabak's debut, the number 19. Played against Jamie Vardy today, which we knew would be a tough one before, but he was controlling it. Him and Henderson were both controlling Vardy, especially in the first half. But Doyle still can't hear.
Nope.
Headphones out and in again.
Worse communication there than Kabak and Allison.
We can hear you.
I can't hear nothing, lads.
Right. I mean, yeah, it just sums it all up, really. Technology isn't working. Liverpool's defence isn't working either. I just want to get Doyle's thoughts on Kabak. Take your headphones out.
Still can't hear me.
Take them out the phone.
Can't hear out, lad.
Still can't hear us.
It's probably Allison.
Fucking hell, man. You still can't hear. Jesus Christ, honestly. Right, Thiago. A few comments in here about Thiago. Craig says, I mean, listen, we're all frustrated right now. But there's no way that Thiago is the most frustrating player. He does give away needless fouls, but does he need to be taken out of the team, Thiago? Welford, what do you think?
No, honest to God, he's like one of the best players I've seen in my lifetime play football, and he's obviously not lived up to expectation, which, to be fair, obviously is a bit, you want to be seeing him play a lot better, and I think he needs to be playing a lot better, but like the whole team are off it, and everyone understands that. Like, I could understand if he just looked a bit out of place and we were still top of the league, we were thriving and playing, or not even top of the league, just playing well, but the whole team aren't playing very well, and to blame Thiago just the first thing. But I feel like for me, that foul, if him or Trent don't make a tackle and he jumps through both of them, everyone would be, oh, what are you doing? You should make a tackle. But then when he does make the tackle, everyone still has to go at him. You know what I mean? So it's a lost situation for him. But he wasn't too bad at fouling today. I didn't think he only really did that, which obviously did come to the goal. But I think if they let him jump through, if that Barnes goes through Trent and Thiago, then he's got like a free shot on goal, hasn't he? But he doesn't need to get taken out of the team. I think it's a different story where Henderson's in that midfield, as I said last week. But I feel like a rest wouldn't be too bad. I think Klopp understood that with today's game. Obviously, he did start on the bench and wasn't training this week. But yeah, I think after this game, we've just got positive things to look forward to. Obviously, Naby and Diego Jota coming back. But I don't know, it's a tough one. But I feel like everyone's just quick to blame him because he's a new player. And since he came in, Liverpool haven't been good. But yeah, I don't know. I'd play him though.
Doyle, can you hear us?
Yeah,
you can.
Yeah,
great. Right, I'll come back to you then. I want to get your thoughts on Kabak's debut today, please, mate.
So, what more can you say? Probably these two lads have covered everything. He was fine. I think he was absolutely fine until we conceded the goal, and then everyone flapped, and he just followed the mentality of the team. He's 20 years old, lad. He's a kid. He followed the mentality of the team when everyone was doing well. He put some good challenges in. He was solid. I actually liked him at first, lad. And then we imploded. His head went down. Everyone's head went down. And then we just played crap, lad. You can't put that down to him. None of that. He looked good to me, lad. I think going forward, he looks like a good replacement. He's better than Reece Williams, and he's better than Nat Williams. He looks better, lad. Maybe he hasn't got the pace in some areas of the game, lad, but otherwise, lad, he looks like a good little solid replacement. And again, he's playing with Henderson at centre back, who doesn't want to be there, lad. This is not his fault.
I mean, they're talking about the goal now on BT Sport. I mean, they're saying it's Firmino's foot, but where they've drawn the line up
Firmino's foot. His foot's not on that blue line. Are you having that blue line is a Liverpool player. I need someone to explain that to me because I don't get that. If that blue line was to be a Liverpool player, the closest person to that is probably Firmino, and he's like a full. Do you want to get the picture before?
Yeah, if you can.
No.
Get that up because we'll try and explain that. I mean,
Where's the blue
as you
line? No
can
one's
see-
foot is on that blue line.
But
No
look at
one.
his whole arm. His whole arm and fingers
Look,
are past the line. So I don't
I don't-
understand how that's onside.
What's the blue line? No, I don't get what this blue line is. No one's on the blue line. Look, no one is. The whole thing, no one is. I don't get it. That blue line, I don't get. If that's going to be the Liverpool line, honestly,
We've
God,
been in
that's
this position, lads. It's just like a replay of going to Brighton, going to Everton. They're the two games that stand out to me in mind where awful VAR decisions have went away. I mean, it's meant to be clear and obvious, but we look over that. We look at it from all different angles. We look at it from a 360-degree angle. It's still not offside. So why is it given offside? So there's just, look, there has to be someone held accountable for making these decisions and as to why. But you can see clear there, well, for Chowers with the blue line. I've seen the same on BT Sport. It's an awful decision. We've seen last season away at Villa where Firmino was ruled out offside and apparently he was ahead of them and he wasn't. So look, we've had our fair share of really awful luck with VAR. We've had our fair share of awful luck again with injuries. And it's just killing us at the moment but having said that, lads, today with the confidence of us, if that was last season and we conceded the goal and we're 1-1, we'd either come back and win that game or we hold on. The confidence was higher. The resilience was better. Where this season, we've just collapsed. I mean, there was no excuse to concede that second and third goal. Allison needs to take Kabak out. Kabak needs to be tighter to Barnes. Kabak needs to be tighter to Barnes and Vardy for that third goal. And it just wasn't. We just gave up. We lost focus, concentration. We can talk about Henderson isn't suited at centre back, and yeah, he should be playing centre midfield. But he's a captain. He's a leader. Sometimes he has to play our position. He knew, obviously, a couple of weeks back when we'd only brought in the two lads that there was still going to be periods and games where he was going to play centre back in. I knew, I don't know whether you did, and Fabinho was going to be there at centre back. You just need to do what you have to do for the cause. You need to hold out. You need to just show that resilience. We are champions. We have the experience, and there's no excuses. There's obviously excuses as to why we're in this position where we are at this stage of the season. But today there was no excuses. It was just awful, I suppose, all around when we got 1-0 up and we just never recovered from when we went 1-1. We didn't, whether VAR had an impact, whether it was a psychological thing that the players thought, here we go again, it's another bad decision and we just lost the head. It could have been just as simple as that. But there was no excuses. It's to just not hold out, try and push for that second goal, just be defend as a team and attacking spirit. And we just didn't show any of that today after they got that goal that was ruled on, that was a goal that was said was onside, which we all know was offside. So what do? We have to take our medicine. We have to lick our wounds because there's another huge game coming up Tuesday and an even bigger game coming up next week against our local neighbours and friends. So there's not a lot we can do. I don't know what Klopp does. There's not enough time to regroup and there really isn't. What does he say that they already don't know? They're all professionals. They're Premier League winners and they have that experience.
Yeah, obviously it's a crisis. That's a thing now that we can accept. In terms of individual players that are maybe experiencing a crisis, talk to me about Allison because, I mean, we can't blame Kabak for the third goal, or the second goal. We can't blame Kabak for the second one, but maybe for the third because he was so slow, which is really quite worrying actually to see Kabak moving that slow for a 20-year-old. But talk to me about Allison now. Where does he go? I mean, memes are flying around all over the place that he's the new Karius or Karius has taken his mask off and it's Allison. I never thought I'd see those kind of memes, lads, but what do we think?
Honestly, it's like the one player in this team that I know I could trust and it'd play well every game is him, and he saved us so many times. But I was not expecting anything like that today. Not gonna lie, I think after City was a bit shaky, and we all thought he's gonna bounce back. Don't worry, and he was fine in the game. And I don't know what sort of it. I feel like he just wants to I think he feels like a lot of pressure on him considering there's no centre half. Like there's a new centre half and over the past couple of weeks there's not been a proper centre half in there. I think for me he feels like he needs to take responsibility and needs to be controlling that. But I'm not. I wasn't too bothered with the City one because I know we got back into the game, but City another class. We were well out of the title race anyway. It's just a shame to get beat by City in such a big manner. But that today, there's no excuses for that. It's not like he's misplaced a pass. There's no way he should be coming out for that ball. I don't care what anyone says. Your keeper should not be coming out that far in a football game. The only time you should be doing that if you everyone's up in the final third and the ball comes out to you and you need to lump it back up. He should not be coming out there. I don't understand why he came out there. And as I said last week, he knows he's made a mistake, and again he'll know he's made a mistake. But you can't even bench him, because that's just a new level of weirdness, and he needs to stay in the team. It's going to do even worse if you bench him. But that today, I can't back him up for that today, though. I don't know why he came out that far, but hopefully he picks his head up and has a worldie against Leipzig and Everton. But on the route he's going, doesn't look like he will be.
Yeah, I mean, Klopp, on that mistake, Darren, just before you tell us what you think about Allison, he says, "We knew before the game Ozan is a good player, but we know that he is not used to everything that we do. Ali likes to come out, and these things can happen. Those mistakes usually happen in pre-season. Tuesday is tough game, then the derby. We're thinking about these games." Darren, your thoughts on Allison tonight?
Wasn't good, obviously, today. He pulled off a really good save. Then after, we call it a calamity, the keeper's in the game, but then they went on, got the third. Look, I don't know whether it's now a mental thing that from what happened last week, it's not easy to recover. You're straight back into the thick and fast play of football again today. Huge game away to Leicester. We knew what was going to happen. They have a deadly trio. He should have just went through Kabak and went through the ball. You know what I mean? There's no sentiment when it comes to teammates to keep your team in a game. And he didn't do that. And well for Troy, you shouldn't have come out for it. But if you do make the decision to come out for it, it's a split-second decision.
You have to win the ball.
You have to win the ball. And he didn't do that. Yeah. And apart from that, I don't think he done a lot wrong today. I think he was quite good, even at the first half, at the end, where he gets a good save and then he plays it straight out. He didn't overanalyze, didn't think about it, straight off. Gives it out to Trent, and then we're in a good attacking position. Then we win a free kick at the end on the 43rd or 44th minute where we are totally wasteful on that. So overall, Allison was okay until that blunder. But I mean, I don't know what he done. It's just bad communication between him and Kabak. But as I said, Kabak is new, he's young. We can't be too harsh on him. But unfortunately, we haven't got time for players with the position that we're in and how much wins we need to be carrying them. And today, it's just an awful day at the office, lads. They scored in the 78th minute. From then on, was just awful. But before that, we were comfortable. We looked good. We looked like we were going to get a second. That we were a lot more crisp and sharp than we have been. And we weren't overanalyzing that. We were just playing that first ball. And we caused a lot of problems. But it's just when we conceded that goal, the heads just completely dropped. And I suppose full credit to Leicester for capitalising on it, but awful for us, because coming into today's game, my biggest fear was we're going to be in a position where we're playing for fourth place, and now we look like we're going to be playing for fourth place. It's no longer second or third, I don't think. So that's where we're at, lads, and it's bad. But as I said, we just have to take our medicine and see where it goes, because things do change quickly, as we know.
10 first team injuries now. Klopp has confirmed that Milner has another hamstring injury to add to not only Divock Origi but also Ben Davis's injury, where apparently he was ruled out in the build-up to this game. Obviously, Kelleher has also had a knock. Adrian actually took the place on the bench for the second game running. Obviously, Van Dijk, Gomez, Matip are out for the season, but neither Jota or Keita look like they're coming back very immediately. And obviously, Fabinho looks like he's out as well. Lads, I don't know really what to say anymore. We are in a crisis. The season has been written off. We're not going to retain the Champions title. Obviously, we've got a game against Red Bull Leipzig on Tuesday. But if we play like that in the last 12 minutes, we're going to go straight out the Champions League on Tuesday night. At what stage does it have to get to now, Welford, before there's maybe a cause for Klopp to leave?
It's so sad thinking about that, because that's the one man you can't blame. Like, I could understand the odd couple of games, but for not to win a game in so long, to lose that in the last 10 minutes, that is not his fault. You cannot blame Klopp. I give Klopp their criticism for the other week. I think Brighton, when he made some stupid changes and didn't start Davies or Kabak, which when you need to give credit, you have to give it. But today, you can't blame him. He's been in such a tough week, which I know is a bit of an excuse, but when his mum's just passed away for so long and he's kept it under, he's faced so many games with her, obviously the passing, which a lot of us didn't know. There's rumours going around that it wasn't definite, and he can't go to a funeral, which is like a massive thing for anyone to do. And yeah, but the day that man leaves, whenever it is, that is going to be one of the hardest days of my watching Liverpool I'll ever have to face. That you can't blame him. He's brought in signings that we've asked for. He's brought in centre halves. He's been banging at the door for FSG in January. He's done everything he wants, and today you can't blame him. And just if we end up not getting top four and we're out of this Champions League, then I'll hold my hands up and maybe say you could look for someone, maybe Gerrard, but I don't care wherever we finish this season or whatever happens. I want him to stay because other than maybe there's only really Gerrard who I think could come and do as good as him. I don't think Gerrard can even do what Klopp's done. Like that, this man has won us a Premier League, a Champions League, won us like 4 trophies in 18 months, and yeah, it's just a crisis for a bit. I feel like for me, like last year, look at City, they had a bit of a stinker. They lost so many games, and I think it's just because what we're used to, especially last year, we were used to just going to games and just absolutely wiping people out, absolutely dominating the game. And I think because, like, obviously we've seen a lot of mistakes from the keeper. We've seen conceding so many goals. We can't hold on to wins. We're just getting beat. It's such a big difference because we're so used to dominating games and we were so good last year. But if we don't get top four and we don't go far enough, like if you don't go to the semis in this Champions League, then maybe. But I'll never say Klopp out unless it gets bad. But it never will get as bad as I'm thinking in my head. But yeah, I just feel for him.
Much worse than now. I mean,
I just feel for Klopp.
But listen, there's not 1% of me in my body and my heart and all that stuff that wants Klopp to leave. If I could, I'd sign him off on a 5-year deal.
I
There's
never
nothing about
in
me
my
that wants
mind
him to
thinks,
leave.
"Oh, Klopp out." Never. It just shows
not
you that
his
just
fault
happens.
at all. Not his fault at all.
Klopp has chose us as well, lads. You know what I mean? We couldn't have handpicked a better manager. Obviously, when you're losing, you're going through a bad streak, questions get asked of owners, managers. We've had 16 centre-back pairings this season compared to 3 last season. VAR decisions going away, winning a game up until and being very comfortable. And I would say next enough to dominant for 78 minutes. Do you blame a manager? I seen him on the sideline just putting his hands up like this with the errors that we've been conceding. I mean, the injuries isn't his fault. And someone questioned me last week that Klopp didn't add quality in the summer when he should have. And I says, but as a Liverpool fan, and I think you would agree, lads, as well as being fans, we needed a left full cover. We got that in. We needed someone creative and world-class potential in that midfield. We brought it in. We needed someone to keep the front three on their feet and keep them on their toes and not let them feet get cold. And we brought him in, you know what I mean? And we brought in someone that was so influential this season with his assists, with his goals, so powerful, contributed loads to us and got injured. Nobody could have foreseen the injuries to Matip, to Van Dijk, Thiago being out for the first couple of months, Salah getting his fair share of injuries, Mane, Henderson, Fabinho, the list goes on and on and on. Jota being out, just as he was coming clinical and contributing loads for us and looked like, yeah, this is someone that can, if we're going to retain a title, that play a huge part in it, a super sub kind of player. It just didn't happen, lad. So whatever you think of Klopp, whatever's being asked, he went out in the summer, he addressed the areas that we all wanted as fans, and he got. Now looking back, and some fans and some people are thinking, oh, we didn't have the quality and we've been bad champions. But bad champions, like was Roy Keane said that last week, like it is nonsense because if you don't retain the title, you're a bad champion. Do you want to be a great runner-up? Because, I mean, a great runner-up and a bad champion, as Shankly said, if you're first, it's everything. If you're second, you're nothing. So what's the difference? And okay, we've had our fair share of excuses, which have been totally genuine excuses. They've been factors. But as what I was saying last week on one of the shows was about Roy Keane, the United were dominant. I think they'd won 3 in a row or something, and then they finished 5 points behind Spurs, who was 6th in the 13-14 season. Was that bad champions? There wasn't questions being asked then. There's still a long way to go. We've 14 games to go, lads. Look, I like to be optimistic and positive, as you all know. Do I think there's 4 teams better in this league than there's over 38 games? I would say no, and even at the moment. But at the moment, I'm down. We have to lick the wounds, take the medicine. I'm obviously pissed off about it. But at the moment, I'm still going to think we can do something because I still think there's something to play for. I don't know why, whether it's just what Jurgen's installed in us, whether it's just having Klopp there, whether it's now we're going to be bringing back Jota and there's better days ahead. I don't know. But let's just wait and see what happens. But this is an absolutely huge week, and that started today, and it started off with a whimper, lads. I'm not going to lie, as we all know, but let's just wait and see how it goes.
We can't get beat by Everton. I will on.
No.
That's the one thing. I'd rather beat them than lose every other game. I physically cannot get beat by them. Not a chance.
All right, let's get into the player ratings. We're going to zoom through these quickly. Allison, for me, deserves no more than a 4 today. It's totally out of form. Easily the worst period he's ever faced in his career, which just coincides with everyone else's kind of worst periods in their careers as well. Robertson in the interview apparently come out and said, that's not us out there. Klopp has come out and said, is the title 100% over? He's admitted it is. Allison gets a 4. Right back, Trent, I thought he had a great first half, was really attacking, was cutting out some vital through balls to Vardy. I rated it. Second half, in that channel again between him and the right-sided centre-back, Harvey Barnes has come in. Hard to give him more than a 6, really. The centre-backs, Henderson, I mean, whenever Henderson plays at centre-back, you can't really give him more than a 6 because he just doesn't have as much influence in the game. Ollie Salisbury saying 3 for Allison. Kabak on his debut, can't give him more than a 6, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that worries me about Kabak is just how slow he looked in that third one. I know Harvey Barnes is fast, but Christ, Kabak looked slow there, lads, and that does worry me.
Yeah, but it was game over.
Listen, it doesn't matter. You sprint to the ball.
That's what I mean. I would have given up.
No. I don't think it's a lack of trying. I just thought, fuck me, he looks slow. That's him trying. Like, it looks slow when he's running.
A bit of advantage on him, didn't he?
Left back, Robbo, again, a poor game. Really poor. Took a shot when he really should have passed it across the goal. He knows it's not us, as he says, playing out there today. In the midfield, Curtis Jones comes off. We concede 3 goals. The same thing happened pretty much when we played City. The longer he's on the pitch, the better we are normally. So disappointing to see him come off, give him a 6.5. Milner went off after 12 minutes, so I can't really give him a score, maybe a 3. And obviously, Ginny played again in midfield. I mean, he gets probably our most consistent score of a 7. And then the 3 lads up front, obviously an unbelievable goal from Salah. No backlift on that. Amazing from Firmino, but I can't really give any of them more than a 5. I mean, Salah did score a goal, but I thought it was hugely wasteful. Mane, awful. Today.
The thing that is like a bit annoying with me, and some lads said it in the comments before, imagine if Salah played this bad for this many games, he'd be getting absolutely slaughtered, and everyone on Twitter, Instagram would just be saying how bad he is and that. And because Mane has been so good over the years, oh no, it's fine, don't worry. No one really speaks about it. He's like, he goes under the cracks a bit. No one really looks at him as like realise he's not being good enough. The first 10 minutes he took on like that Amarty a couple of times and looked good and looked up for it, but he's not done anything since, I'd say, maybe Tottenham where he got the goal. Or he didn't even play that well then. He did all right. Like, but I'd say since Spurs, but then even past Spurs, before Spurs, only really West Brom when he got the goal. But he's not been good for a couple of games now, and that's worrying when you see him. And the only one who I can hold my hands up and said fair play and who's looked one like they want to play, want to score goals is Salah, and that's because he's hungry to score goals. He wants to break records, and he's the only one who wants to look like they want to score and have a shot. Everyone else is just, it's really worrying. It's
very worrying. It's super worrying. I can't lie to you. This is definitely a crisis, and it's easily the worst period that I've experienced as a Liverpool fan since at least, Rodgers left. I can't even think of a period towards the end of Rodgers' time that was this bad in terms of this many losses. 6 defeats now in the Premier League this season, the same as Chelsea. They can go above us if they win. Lads, I'm going to call it a day there, as Liverpool did today, really, after 78 minutes. 3-1 defeat. Do you fancy both coming on Monday to preview the Leipzig game?
Yeah, if I'm not killing myself by then, I'll be on.
We won't. We'll look to be. We'll just keep the faith, lads. We've come on after.
Keep the faith.
That's all. What can we do? I mean, we can't lose the head and go mad and then expect the players to just stay focused. But look, the only good thing is, post for Tuesday is a different competition, isn't it?
Champions League,
it's something that we normally, when the shit is happening in the league, we have a go-to, and it's something that we just revitalise in. But we'll see,
We'll see. Anyway, look, we will speak on Monday to preview the Leipzig game. Big week next week, Tuesday, and then Saturday, Everton. Right, lads, take care.